Hey guys, welcome back once again. In this video, I am going to show you how to create a navbar in React using routing. Well, as you can see on your screen, I have a sample project. So here on left side, I am rendering my logo, and here on right, I have couple of nav options. Okay, so basically this is a header component. So here on dashboard, basically here I am rendering this component, and here I am rendering some of the user details. Okay, now if I click here on product, it will take me to the product component, which is a different component. And here if I click on report, again it will redirect me to report, which is another one component. And here about, and here on click of this, as you can see, this is the contact us, and basically I haven't defined route for contact us. So here it will redirect me to the dashboard itself. If I write here any route, suppose here I wrote AA, so it will redirect me to dashboard component only. But if you want to redirect to some other component, something called routing not found or something went wrong, you can do that. Okay, so throughout this video we will create this all functionality, and we will implement the best practices, and we will try to create the simple and a small component as much as possible. So for routing, I am using React Router DOM. So if you don't have any understanding about the React Router DOM, you are at the right place. You can start as a beginner. So now it's time to jump to VS Code and create this navbar in React with routing. So here, as you can see, already I have created a sample project, and in app.js still I do have all boilerplate code. So now let me get back to UI and show you how it is looking. So here, this is how it's looking right now. So first thing, we will install React Router DOM to enable the routing in ReactJS. So for that, here let's come back, and here let's write yarn add React Router DOM. Okay, so this is a npm package which will help us to implement routing in our React application. Okay, so now we have to create couple of components. So for that, here let's create a folder and call it as components, and here let's create components, call it as dashboard. So dashboard, and here we have to make it as a functional component. So import react from, and here return a text saying dashboard. So I will return here h2 tag dashboard. Okay, now in order to import in other component, I need to export it from here. So here export default dashboard. Okay, now let's copy this, and here let's create other component as well. So I will create other component called reports.js, and I will paste it, and here I will change the name. So report, and here too. So let me create another one component, product.js. Let's create another one component, about. So here about.js, and let me copy again from here and paste it here. Already we have installed React Router DOM, so we have to enable routing in our application. So for that, we have to import browser router from React Router DOM. So now let's come back to app.js, and let's remove this boilerplate code, and here right now I will call browser router. So browser router. Okay, and here I have to pass different routes inside this. So before this, here I will call it as routes. So these routes will have another one children called route. So here route, and this route will represent a certain path. So here route, and it will take two parameters. So first is the path, and here I will pass the main path. Okay, and right now the second parameter is a element. So on this path, which element I want to render. So here I would like to render dashboard component. So I will call here dashboard component. Okay, and here as you can see it got auto imported at the top. Now let's get back, and here as you can see I am getting this dashboard, and if you have noticed I am not importing and calling anywhere else. Okay, so here on this route I am calling this. Now I have to do the same. So here / about, and I want to render my about component. So here about. Okay, now let's get back here. So here as you can see we are unable to see about component, we can see only dashboard. So for that, if you can see here we have given path as a / about. So now let's get back, and here let's try about and hit enter. So here as you can see about, I got it. Okay, now let's get back and repeat the same for others. Okay, so we have here a couple of components, so product and report. So this is similarly we can do this. So I have a different idea. So instead of writing again and again and repeating the same line of code, what we can do is we can create a JSON structure and we can import it here and we can look through it. It means here, let me show you. So here I will create a const app routes, and this array is going to take a object which will represent a single route. So first here I will write key, comma, here path, and I will define the path as a here / means home, and I will define this element. Okay, so on this / means home I want to render my dashboard component. So I will import my dashboard component here. Now let me copy and paste it again. So key is 2, and I want my about section to be there, and right now I am rendering about component. And let me repeat here a couple of times. So here 3rd, 4th and 5th. Right now here, instead of writing again and again, I will remove this and I will use this app routes to look through it. It means here right now app routes dot map. Okay, and this is going to give me a single route. So I will call it as route, and right now I can return this. Okay, so this path we are getting from here, so I don't need to write anymore. So what I can do is I can write here route dot path, and here for element I can write route dot element. Okay, and now let's save it and get back here and let's refresh. So I got about, and let me write product. So got product, and if I am removing and hitting enter, here I got the dashboard as a home component. So now in future if I have to add another one component with a different route, so what I have to do is I have to copy this and paste it here, and I have to change this ID. I have to write here my path and which component have to be rendered there. Okay, and this one will be handling everything. Okay, so now the things are super easy for us. Now you might have noticed here this path have the same thing, path, and here this element have this element property. Okay, so right now we don't have to do this thing as well. Instead of this, here I can destructure our route. So destructure our route. Okay, so now if we come back here, still you can see dashboard, and if I write about, still you can see about component. So everything is working as expected. So right now, as you can see, we are able to route through the component. But what if I want to go from one component to other component? So for that here, so in dashboard component, I want a link so I can go to about component. So for that here, let me use this fragment and let's paste it inside. And right now I need to use link. Okay, so basically anchor tag in HTML. So here I will import link from the React router DOM. So link, go to about component, and here I need to pass the link. So here I have to pass two property, and right now I can define the path where I would like to go. So here we know that in order to go to route, I have to write /route. So I wrote it here. Now let's save it and get back, and let's go to dashboard, and here as you can see, go to about component. Right now if I click, as you can see, I am on about component. Okay, so right now we are able to route from one component to other component. So now let's segregate the folder. So here as you can see, I wrote these logics and routing things in app.js, which is not a very good thing. Means still you can do that, but this is not a best practice, I would say. So here on src level, I will create a folder and I will call it as route. And now inside this, let's create a file and let's call it as index.js. Okay, so basically whatever the code we wrote in app.js, we will move all this code to routes and we will import that component here. So first of all, let's create a functional component here. So import React from React, and here I will name my component as a app router. Okay, and this is the functional component, and basically this component will return browser router. So browser router, and right now let's export this component. So export default app router. Okay, so now let's copy the remaining thing from here. So cut it and paste in between, and let's copy this as well and paste it here. Now we don't need to call this browser router here, so simply I can call that component. So here app router. Okay, and here we are not importing this component, so we can remove it from here, and let's come back and we need to import them here. Okay, so hope it will be failing right now. So here I need to remove this because it's twice. So here I got error, can't resolve component about. So it's better to remove this component and import it again. So dashboard about product, and here reports. Okay, so I have everything. Now let's remove the unwanted thing and come back here. So here still you can see I have about section, and here on dashboard if I click, I am able to come to about. Okay, so now this code looks more cleaner. Here we have to create a navbar as well. So for creating a navbar here, basically I will be using undesign. So first of all, let's come to browser and let's search undesign. So undesign is the one of the most popular React UI library. So now let's click here and come to get started. Okay, and here as you can see, I have to do npm install and td, or I can do here yarn. So I will copy this and come back here. Let's open a new terminal and install this package. Okay, so right now we have to create a header component, means kind of layout. So for that here I will create another one folder and I will call it as a layout. So here layout, and inside this I will create a layout basically. So first of all let's create a index.js. Okay, and here we have to make it as a functional component. So before that here let's get back, and here let's go to components, and here as you can see we have something called layouts. So here as you can see this is what the functionality we are looking for. So on click of here nav3 it should go to nav3 and nav3 component should get loaded. Okay, so right now let's click on here, and as you can see we have code. So I will copy the whole thing from here and come back and I will paste it here. Okay, so now we have pasted here, and now we need to call this component. So before that here I will change the component name. So I will call it as app layout. So layout. Okay, so now we need to export the same and paste it and save it, and let's come back to the routes, and at the top of here means inside the browser router we have to import our layout. Okay, so here I will write app layout. Okay, and here I need to pass these things as a children. Got it? So we are passing these routes as a children to this app layout. Okay, so now let's get back, and here as you can there is something wrong. Okay, got it. So right now here let's come back and go to get us started. So here we haven't imported the CSS file. Okay, so here we need to import this CSS file in our application. So for that here let's come to index.js and let's import this CSS file at the top. Okay, and now let's get back and let me refresh. So here as you can see it has been resolved. Okay, so that was a styling issue. So right now we have here nav, means navigation section. So basically we can have as many nav link we want, and here we will load our content. Okay, so right now let's come to that component. So let's go to app router and here app layout. So first of all I don't want this option to be there, home link app. So let's remove this component from here. Okay, and the next thing is here we are passing our component as a children, if you can see. So I want to render that component in app layout. Okay, so you might have noticed the content is only getting rendered here in between, but I want my component to be there. So for that here let's destructure a property children, because we will get here children as a props. So here I will destructure here itself, and I will call this children here. Okay, so now if you can see I got here dashboard, and now if I am going to about section I will get here about. Okay, so here dashboard itself I am getting here go to about component. If I click here I will come to about. Okay, so here it's working fine. So now we have to manipulate this link as well at the top. We don't want this many options. So here as you can see they are creating a new array of 15 element and they are filling the null, and based on the index they are creating this. So right now I don't need this one, so I will remove this. Okay, and I will pass my custom array. Got it? So right now let's create that array. So here const, and I will call it as nav options. Okay, and this is an array which is going to take object, and this object will represent a single navbar. So here I want label to be there, so label. Okay, and here I have to pass a link. So basically here what I will do is I will copy my nav option, and here I will pass link. So link we have to pass from React router, and let's say for the dashboard I wrote the dashboard, and here I have to pass to as a forward slash. Okay, so now if you come here and refresh this, so here as you can see I have this option dashboard. So now let me click on about, and I am on about, and if I click here I came back. Okay, so now here let me add the other properties as well. So comma, and here right now I need to add product. So product, and let's call it as product, and I will pass about. Okay, so right now as you can see we have this couple of options. So if I click on dashboard, I am on dashboard. If I click on product, I am on product component, report, and here about. Okay, so now what if I want this to take whole width? So for that, as you can see, I am rendering here layout component. Okay, and this is something come from the and design. So here I will add a style, and I will call it as a height as a 100%. So 100 vertical height. So now if you can see it will take whole height. Okay, so here as you can see theme is dark, that's why we are getting this color. If we provide this theme as a light, we will get here white color. Okay, and here mode is horizontal, means we want our menu to render in this horizontal, not vertical. And the next option is default selection key. Okay, so this is something which will get selected default. So here I will pass this 0, and I need to add here key. Okay, so for this key I will add this key as a 0, and now if I refresh this page, here this dashboard will get automatically selected. Okay, so let me add key to others as well.
So key 2,
3. If I want my third key to be selected, so here I need to pass this 3, and our third component will get selected by default. Okay, so we don't have to route, it will route automatically to that. So let's pass here as a 0th index. Okay, and here it is getting rendered right now. So right now our task is we have to render something in these things, means we have completed our navbar, but we want our icon to be there. So for that here let's go to this public folder, and here as you can see we have these icons. So now come to here src, and let's create another one folder, images. Okay, and here I will copy this file and paste it here. So I copy it and paste. Okay, so right now let's go to layout component, and here in router I need to render my component. So here as you can see this is the logo. So first of all here let's break it, and here /div, and let's close it, and inside this I need to pass image, here src, and here closing tag. So right now we have to pass here src, means the path. So here let's import this. So import logo from, and let's get back one path, and here as you can see I got suggestion. So here images logo 192.png. Okay, so now here I need to pass this path as a logo, and here it will get rendered as you can see. Okay, so now I have to make it smaller. So let me pass this width as a 50 pixel. Now let's get back. So here as you can see it's not aligned properly. So for that let's come back here. Okay, and here let's create a css file. So layout.css, and already we have defined class as a logo, and here I will write float left. Okay, now we need to import here, import / layout.css. Now let's save it and refresh the page. So right now, as you can see, we got our logo placed here and we have our navbar here. Okay, so I want to provide some margin in between both. So for that, here let's come back and here margin, and I want to give margin right, and let's define as a 100 pixel. Now let's come back. So here, as you can see, we have a bit margin, and here this is how it's looking. Okay, so if I click here, I am able to come to here about. If I click on product, I am able to come to product about. Okay, so now let's go to inspect, and here we will see in mobile view as well. So here by this and design, we have a good facility. So as you can see, we got this option, and once we will decrease the resolution of this screen size, all the option we will get inside this icon. Okay, so we have to click, and here we have to select. Okay, so this looks really good. Here, if you want this option to be there directly, so for that, let's come back to index.js. Okay, and this option is getting rendered from the menu. So I will wrap this into a div. So div. Okay, and let's try a style here, and let's call it as float right. Okay, and save it, and here as you can see, we got our option to be there. So right now, let's copy this style and give a class name here. So class name navbar. Okay, get back here dot navbar, and here I have to define this float right. Okay, and here as you can see, we are getting our options there. So right now, let's render something on dashboard component. So for that, here let me render table component. So let me search for table. Okay, and here as you can see, this is the table component. So let me copy this code, and let's come to the component, and here I will create another one component called table component. So table.js. Okay, and I will paste it here. So I will replace this app with custom table. So custom table. Now let's export this, and here let's come to dashboard. So basically here this is the link we have. So right now let's import here table component. So custom table and close it. So now as you can see, here report we don't have anything, and on dashboard here we have this table component. So here as you can see, I do have this option. So go to about component. If I click, I will come to about, and here if I click, I can come here wherever I want. So basically whatever you want to render with that component, you can easily do that. Okay, so right now let's change this text here. So for that, here let's come to layout, and here let's write Codenemy and created by Vikas. So now let's remove this dashboard from here. So for that, dashboard, and let's comment this dashboard. Okay, so here as you can see, this is completely getting stuck at the top. I want a bit of space there. So for that, let's come to layout. Okay, and if you have noticed, here we are rendering inside the component. Okay, so here I have to add this component class in our class. So here let's add a padding. So site layout content, and I will add padding from top and down, let's say 16 pixel. So 16 pixel, and from side let's call it as 20 pixel. Okay, so here as you can see we got space from top, this is the 16, and we have space from bottom as well and side as well. Okay, so right now we have layout as a component and we have everything there. So now what we can do is we can segregate and we can create a header component which will have the header information. Okay, so for that here let's come back and let's create a component and call it as app header. So app header.js. So right now we have to move these things, means especially the header thing, in a different component. So let's cut it from here and let's make it this as a functional component. Return, and I will return this component from here. Now let's export it. So export default app header. Okay, so let's come to this component layout, and here I will call my app header component, app header. Okay, so right now it will fail because there is a lot of dependency we have and we are not passing there. So right now let me come to node, and here as you can see header, logo, menu, nav option not defined. So here I cut it and come here and pasted it. Okay, so right now we have to define link as well. So for that let me copy this link and paste it here. Okay, import from and design, and here I need to type layout. So basically I can write const here header equal to layout. Okay, need to define logo. So let me cut this logo from here and paste it here. Okay, menu, so menu which is going to come from and design, so here menu. Now save it, and here let's come back. So here as you can see still everything looks same, there is no difference in between, but what we have made is we have segregated our folder structure in better way. Okay, so in future actually if somebody is looking, what we have to do is here this is the content, so we can still segregate this one, and here we have this footer, so we can segregate this one. That's why here I have kept this layout as a different folder, and here basically we are managing the layout of whole application. So right now if you want to add a new option at the top, what we have to do is here I have to add a new option. So I will replicate this and let's say contact us. Okay, and here contact, let's change this to 4. Okay, so here let me click, and here as you can see we have this option contact us. We haven't defined this routing, that's why we are getting this page. If we don't have any routing, so our app should say that there is no routing, it should throw a error. Okay, so for that here let's come back. Okay, and I will add a path here. So right now let's pass this as a universal. So here a star means if it's not matching from any one of the route, it will go to this route and it will render this component. Okay, so now let's save it, and here as you can see it's rendering report component. Now let me write here A. So I got this about, but let me write AB. So here as you can see I got this report component. Okay, so basically here we are rendering our report component. But in real, what you will be doing is you will define a different page. So let's say something went wrong or route not find kind of, and you will render here. Or in some case, the people will render their dashboard component, home page itself. So here I can render my this dashboard component. Okay. So right now, if you write here AB, as you can see, you have redirected to home component, which is basically a dashboard component. Okay guys, so in this video we have seen how to create a navbar in ReactJS with routing. Okay, and we have seen how to create these options dynamically and with all best practices. Okay, and while this project development, we have taken care of all best practices. Okay guys, so you can get download link of this code in description of this video. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in comment section. If you like this content, please do like, share and subscribe. See you in next video. Thanks for watching.